I'm joined by Cork hurling star Robbie O'Flynn. Robbie, this weekend, yourself and the Cork panel, you're going to do a special solo run for Marymount Hospice. Your mother Marie works there, and it's going to be a 42-hour solo run where different members of the players and the management are getting involved. How did this all come about?
So originally it kind of came about, obviously from my mother working up there, as you said. She's come home, just obviously a few sad stories, whatever, coming out of there at the moment. And I've also was on to Paula, she be the head of the charity organisation up there, and she said that they're forced to cancel kind of all their events due to the virus. So I said we could definitely do something with the hurlers, as due to like the support that we get anyway in Cork is massive just for hurling, and I thought it'd be a good idea to kind of transfer that support over into a different way. And the uptake was unreal from the lads. Like within 10 minutes, I had 40 thumbs up in the group chat, and everyone was kind of slagging each other, saying who's going to get to running during the night and stuff like that. So yeah, I was delighted with it.
Yeah, I certainly know the value of a hospice myself. After my sister had to go to one last year and the year before, all through one run, of course. But can you just explain, even like just from listening to your mother Marie or your exposure to it, the good work that's going on there?
Yeah, they put in, like, obviously it touches, like, everyone in Cork knows what Marymount actually does. Like there's a bit of a kind of a retirement centre there, and there's obviously a place for kind of critically ill patients where they can be comfortable and their family members can go in there um through tough times, obviously. But that was another thing that like kind of sparked my interest at the beginning. I heard that they were trying to raise money for iPads, so like family members and patients could actually have meaningful like conversations, like, because obviously social distancing has affected all of our lives, but like in terms of that kind of situation, it's very hard to kind of deal with. And having like iPads, at least, like, you can be face to face. Yeah, so like that's what sparked my interest, really, having the kind of iPads up there. And I wanted to kind of run an event to raise money to get more iPads, but then it kind of grew, and we said we could involve everyone in the panel, and yeah, it's kind of gone from there.
Yeah, because you've an aim to get a pretty big amount of money overall, haven't you?
Yeah, it's I didn't realize how big it was going to be, but Paula thought that we could definitely do that, so she set up to GoFundMe. But it's going very well. I think we're over 17,000 at the moment, and we're 3 or 4 days away from the run. And hopefully during the run now, that there'll be loads of people kind of get involved and try and watch the content. So it'll hopefully grow legs. Yeah.
So how are you actually going to do this? It's like, I mean, there's social this, or people have to stay more or less within their houses at this stage, 2 kilometers of their home. So is it just going to be going around the estate, that type of thing?
Yeah, that's what we were saying. I was saying to a few lads, I was like, obviously we're gonna have to stay in within the 2 km, but then I kind of went another step, and I said, like, just to make sure that everyone knows that we are in the 2 km, why don't we just do it in our back gardens or wherever you can do it? So yeah, everyone was saying they'll do that. They'll set up their phone, and what we're going to do is do the hyper time lapse. So fellas, there'll be just kind of a fast video of lads running around their front garden for an hour, and we might get a video or two before they start, and at the end saying, I'm doing my time. This is my time. See them going out there hurling ball and stuff like that. And when they finish up, then they can just send us another video at the end, passing the ball on to the next fella, so he can start his run then.
That's brilliant. I'm sure your mother's very happy with you, is she?
She's delighted, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely golden boy. A quick chat about hurling and life, actually. How are things going for you at the moment? You're in college.
Yeah, I was actually just finished college there. Well, I was supposed to be starting placement, but it got cancelled due to the virus. So I had to do dissertation instead, unfortunately. I'm just trying to figure that part out still. I'm trying to come up with a question. I have no idea what I'm going to do. But but it's Sorry, what else? What else did you ask there? You asked the
Just
question.
life in general, how you're getting on,
Oh yeah,
and even
so
your
like
training.
the hurling the hurling's actually fine. Like the problem is the GA pitch is being closed. Kind of poses its own, like, you can't go up and do your normal shooting, like, and like there's nowhere you can just kind of make a goal post out of, really, like. So like I have my brother. I'm lucky in a sense. I have my brother, like, and he's big into hurling as well. He plays Aaron's own, and I can puck with him every day, and I can do whatever with him, and I go running with him as well. And he's just doing the same program that I'm doing with Cork, so he's actually benefiting a good bit off it, I'd say.
Very good. Can I ask you about your club's Erin's Own? I mean, Shawnee OLeary, Tomas O'Leary, of course, won Munster titles Heineken Cups with Munster, and Brian Corcoran. Can you tell me about who would have been your heroes growing up, and would they have been from the club?
Definitely Brian Corcoran was. He actually just lives 2 or 3 doors down from me. He'd be kind of friendly with my dad as well, and he's been inside a few times trying to. He always given me a few pointers, like. But he's definitely one of my heroes. He's a serious presence. Like, even just talking to him, kind of in a sense of awe, like, what he's actually accomplished. But like, obviously growing up as well, Joe Dean was my kind of number one guy to go to as well. Like, because I used to be tiny when I was growing up, and I thought that at least he can do it then. Like, but I actually grew then, thank God. So yeah.
And with Brian Corcoran, I presume you were too young to actually see him hurl for Cork, and even that that comeback he made, of course, where he went full forward and he was so devastating.
Yeah, I've no memory of him playing in his natural kind of centre back role, but I do have 1 or 2 memories of him playing full forward, right? And obviously watching the matches. I've only been watching. I watched the 2004, 2005 All-Ireland final and stuff like that recently, when he was playing, and like, even you can just see, like, even at his age and come back after, and what he actually did, like, and the points he was still scoring, like, was unreal. So yeah, proud to have him as a club member.
And as a younger man, are you aware of the legend that Shawnee O'Leary was, and the fact that he got something, I think it was in the range of 30 championship goals for Cork, which, considering they would have played fewer games per season back then, was some going.
Yeah, I know. I'm a bit clueless in that sense. I wouldn't appreciate how good he was. Like, so I played with Tomas right last year. I think he's. I don't know, is he playing this year? I haven't really seen much of him, but he said he was making a return anyway. But he's he comes and goes, like.
Yeah, I actually did an interview with him a while back. He said it took a while to shave off a bit of the timber. What was his touch like?
Yeah. That was it. The timber was the problem. I thought he was. I don't know. His back was probably. I think his back was sore, probably from all the weights. But no, I'd say his body wasn't used to kind of hurling as you're using every inch of your body when you're moving. Like, and I'd say he just couldn't really adapt to it that much. But like, he's doing a few jobs for the junior 8. To be honest, he's doing well.
I was going to say, I'd say I was one of the few people that actually backed you and said that was a very harsh red card against Galway. I thought a little bit of a kneel was a bit of a... But
yeah.
Is that something you learn from, or you just think your arm was up and then it's very hard to actually get it out of the way at that point? I'm sure you wanted to get it out of the way, but it's too late.
There was absolutely no malicious in it. It was actually the first red card I've ever gotten, to be honest. What happened was... I think I know the guy. I don't know if he sees this now, Finn Burke. I actually won an under-21 All-Star with him, and I remember going out that night with him. But like, I knew him anyway. So, but I knew it was one of his first games for the senior team, and you noticed that he was a bit nervous anyway, and he missed a few balls or whatever. So I saw the ball was running towards him, and I picked up as fast as I can because I thought that he'd kind of fumble. But he got it, obviously, and when I went in, I kind of put he shimmied one way, and I kind of went into. I was going too fast, obviously, to kind of block him. I put my arm up, and it hit his shoulder first, and then the edge of my hurley went up, and it caught him underneath his head guard, and it looked terrible. I know, I've no complaints, like, so. But yeah, there was no malicious in it.
Have you enjoyed your first? Is this your third season now at Cork in the senior ranks?
Fourth.
Fourth, is it?
Fourth
Okay.
season, yeah.
Have you enjoyed it so far?
Yeah, definitely. Like coming in was obviously like 4 years ago. Like it's like it's very kind of scary for any kind of 18-year-old going into a senior setup. Like you're in awe of like all the lads. Like then you're grouped into a field and you're actually playing with them. Like it kind of takes a while for you to get over it. Like sorry, but yeah, no, like I'm fierce friendly now with all the lads. Like even the older boys like Seamus Harnedy and stuff like that, like they're all just so sound, like they're easy to get on with, and so it's ideal, like
Because having watched the semi-final against Limerick, obviously things didn't work out for you in 17 against Waterford, but in 2018 the turning point that everyone talks about is Nicky Quaid's flick save against Harnedy, who you just mentioned. But it was actually you who got in and behind. I was only watching it back a little while ago. You got in behind. Do you have a picture in your mind of what it was like when that little scene happened?
Yeah. Unfortunately, that picture in my mind comes up nearly every day.
Really?
But,
yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like I remember, it was my first. I got on. I don't know what was left. 15, 20 minutes left. My first time playing in Park Grieve, but like I remember, like I think Nash hit me out the ball, and I don't know how I managed. I don't know how I managed to catch it anyway. But like it was my first ball going up, and it was a bit of a bundle, but like I got it anyway, and I turned and I seemed to be kind of in. Well, there was one fella in front of me, but I don't know, was he was, I got around him anyway, and I kept on going, and I remember the ball, I kind of knew that Sham was to my right hand side, and I wasn't able to get away a shot because your man was behind me, and so the ball, I was kind of going as fast as I can, so I kind of put the ball out in front of me, and it bounced, and then I kind of, like as a hand pass, I bounced kind of, like I bounced it, and then I kind of shot it across him. But like accuracy wise, it was kind of like where I put it for him was probably a bit high, but we're always kind of get slagging each other over that, saying who's spot that. But yeah, that was it really. I've played that over my head now a few times.
Really, yeah, because you were in great shape that year, and I think you were something like 6 points ahead with not too long to go on that game. It just felt like, geez, that was a real missed opportunity.
Yeah, we were 6 points ahead when that opportunity arose, and then of course there was obviously there to be old fellas telling me why didn't I just put it over the bar and all this stuff. But to be honest, if I was put there again now, you would have done the same thing. So I can't complain. Like.
Yeah, and you know the league campaign this year, you didn't get through to the knockout phase. God knows if that'll ever be played anyway. But do you feel like that you saw enough in your games during the regulation games to suggest that you're moving in the right direction?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, we've new management and stuff like this year, and it's obviously refreshes us again. But no, they give us great confidence. Like they tell us to go out there and kind of like express yourselves, like, and they encourage mistakes, like, and like that's kind of the best environment you want to be in, like, you know. Yeah.
Well, look, I appreciate you coming on, and best of luck with everything and raising the money for Marymount Hospice. Hope it goes very well for you, and look, I'm sure we'll chat again in the future.
Come on, cheers.